Hi. So, how long have you been writing poetry?
Wow, I've been writing poetry all my life. I don't remember not writing poetry. It's in second grade I recited a poem in my class, and I don't know. I've always seen the world that way. Even when I was speaking when I was young, it never quite made linear sense. So it's been a part of my life, I think, forever.
And how do you see your own poetry as contributing to social justice?
I think it's twofold, actually threefold. First, my very presence. Just the fact that, I write as a queer woman of color, happens to be trans, happens to be queer, but all of this and just sort of being a poet. Just my presence is a sign that there's more than what is commonly presented as, the literary canon. Even within the queer world, there's this book right now called The Collection, and it's actually not poetry, it's all prose, but the idea is the same. I'm the only person of color in the entire anthology, apparently. It's like, I didn't know this, but one of my friends said, I just looked up every author. You're the only person of color in there. And I'm going, whoa, that's messed up. But on the other hand, I think if there are no people of color in an anthology, it's somehow easier to overlook than if there's only one. There's something weird about that. Kind of like you notice the one African-American dude in every Dockers commercial. Just notice, why does it always have to be that one token? The other way I think it contributes to social justice is, I think growing up as a person of color, growing up marginalized, growing up aware of class, it's inside of me. So when I write, I think I see the world through a lens that can't help but call attention to areas of injustice. I don't often purposely use my words as a weapon. I don't purposely say I'm going to write a political diatribe. But the funny thing is, some of my work reads that way because my work is about addressing, what I don't see right in the world, not from a moral, ethical standpoint, which just doesn't make sense, and writing about it, and sometimes it just comes out in a way that sounds like, I'm calling for revolution. And if that's the case, so be it.
Do you have any future plans for the direction your work's going?
In terms of future plans, I think what I would like to do is really settle in and write a few more books. And I think one of these days, a lot of this work that I'm doing right now talks about me being a victim, being a survivor. One of these days it would just be nice to write, a book with wizards in it, or something like that, or just something where I can paint with a completely different palette. I can, make up my own world and see what goes on there. I think there's been this burden, I think a lot of queer writers have this, of writing serious things, of writing weighty, serious material. I'd like to see what I do. I'd like to laugh more, on the paper. I think about something like, Mozart's Magic Flute. That was written as a joke, and yet turned out to be one of the greatest things he ever wrote. I wonder if one can't be successful and joyful at the same time. I think that'd be kind of cool. I like laughing. I like writing. Let's make them work together. Ha ha, boom.
Cool. Do you have any advice for young queer artists?
For young queer artists, be true to yourself and be good. Work hard. Work creatively. What I mean by that is, queer artists occupy the same kind of weird-ass place within the queer community as artists do within any community. Everybody thinks they know what we do, but they don't have a clue. And if you buy into what they think you should be doing and what they think you should be writing, you're going to end up crazy. You're going to end up, doubting yourself. You're going to end up destroying yourself. Everyone has their own way of working. Everyone has their own voice. Artists, the reason artists work so well in the community many times is because they often have no place fixed in the community. They come in, they come out, they see things from afar. In the queer community, there's this tendency to have people of talent stay close to the family so we can fight the good fight and move along. And artists cannot do that. There are times when you have to call your family out. There are times when you have to forget you have family and go paint a fish and not worry about what it's doing to promote marriage equality or class warfare. And I think that to any queer artist to understand, you're going to be queer, you're going to be an artist. But when you view yourself as a queer artist, artist is the noun. Treat yourself as an artist. You are far, far more valuable as a creator of vision, as a creator of words and sonnets and your own story and bring your own unique vision of the world. So, as I was saying, you're far more important doing all of those things than you would ever be as a simple foot soldier in the great movement to make life better for queers. There are people who love going door to door. There are people who love being activists. Let them do what they love.